Oh, boom. Okay, good morning. Thanks so much for joining us here at the Network Breakfast once again. It is April 13th, and our trusty contestants are at the ready, and I'm going to introduce them, and then we'll get started with our Windows 10 tips and tricks, and you'll be a master of Windows 10 if you do all of these 11 items. And we'll go over a couple of other things too. So stick around till the end because it's going to be a good one. All right, so I'm going to say good morning to Jeff Hexter. Good morning, Jeff.
Good morning, Tom. Thank you. I'm Jeff Hexter with Always Keep Computing. I work with professionals who are working from their homes that have technology issues. Their Wi-Fi is whiffy, their printers aren't printing, their computers are not behaving, and when they have other kinds of wireless weirdness, they call on me for help. One of the problems I dealt with in the past week was I had a client that got so upset with his laptop that he picked it up and threw it. I couldn't help him after it shattered, but we did end up setting up a new machine for him. If you know somebody that's that frustrated, it may be a little too late, but I'd love to talk with them before they get that frustrated. Jeff Hexter, Always Keep Computing.
Thank you, Jeff. Yes, some things just can't be fixed.
It was sad.
Oh, and now we'd like to say good morning to Chris Walters. Good morning, Chris.
Good morning, Chris Walters with See-Through Windows. I provide vinyl replacement windows and patio doors and glass block. I will come to your house, take a look at it, and within 24 hours give you a quote. I'm strictly doing wholesale only, do very little retail, so I'm working with Howard Hanna, Keller Williams, general contractors, management companies and things like that. Call me at 330-604-0403.
Excellent. Well done. Thank you, Chris. Thanks for being here. Now we'd like to say good morning to our good friend, Lee Jackson. Good morning, Lee.
Good morning, Tom. Lee Jackson with Jackson Consulting Services. Do you know any out-of-the-box thinkers, any innovators, people willing to try new and different things? Executives looking for new ways to generate revenue, generate business, save on expenses. Of course you do. Leaders and executives with imagination. People who just want to change their paradigm. At Jackson Consulting Services, those are the people that I work with every day and help them grow their business. Now I'm trying to slightly change course of direction. Instead of helping these people as external consultants, I'm transitioning to do the same thing from the inside. I'm looking for a full-time position, leveraging my leadership experience in the healthcare field and my network connections to help the senior service industry, home healthcare, assisted living, nursing homes, etc. Looking to meet with owners, executive teams, any leadership of these senior service organizations, and those people that serve those leaders. Conversation with these bold thinkers and creative innovators, I'm confident I can help them out.
That's great. Thank you, Lee. Very good. Okay, now we'd like to say good morning to our master photographer. We're so proud of him for all the things he does and how good he is. Exactly. That's Scott Morrison. Good morning, Scott.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Scott Morrison, company's Discovery Photo. I am a full-time, full-service photographer, have been for 30 years now. Can you believe it? I started when I was 4. Yeah, we do everything from legal, corporate, industrial, architectural photography. We do a lot of modeling portfolios. We do a lot with the movie industry. As a matter of fact, this weekend we shot a movie, and we have 5 more planned for this year. So it's going to be a busy year. We're picking up and starting to get busy again, which is fantastic. So just remember, Discovery Photo, when image counts. Give me a call if you need anything.
Absolutely. Thank you, Scott. And Scott started so young, he said 4 years old. He was so small, somebody else had to hold the camera.
That's true.
Bada boom. All right, now I'd like to say good morning to Mike Bentley. Let's ask Mike.
Good morning. It's always enlightening to be a part of the Network Breakfast, full of wisdom and knowledge gained by other professionals. And my profession is that of an insurance consultant and broker. I work for the Brooks and Stafford Company. We're a full service insurance agency. And if you have a question about your insurance product or have a family member who needs assistance, just have them ask Mike. Thank you.
Perfect. Thanks, Mike. Now I'd like to say good morning to Rob Lord. Good morning, Rob.
Good morning, Rob Lord here. I'm a financial advisor with Thrivent Financial. What does that mean? I help you help you with your financial needs and making a financial plan so you have a course on where you're going to go and how to get to retirement and through retirement without running out of money. Rob Lord, Thrivent Financial.
Nice. Thank you, Rob. Thanks for all you do. And now, as they say, last but certainly not least, all of our very good friend, Ari Tayomi. Take it, Ari.
Oh, this is me, myself, and I.
Yes.
Yeah. Good morning, everybody. I'm Ari Tayomi. My company is Lasting Impression Direct. We are a full-time, full-service printing and direct mail company. We have access to very high-quality mailing lists, and we help people sell more products and get more revenue. Ari Tayomi, Lasting Impression Direct, 216-464-1960.
Perfect. Well done, Ari. Thank you so much. And thank you for being here. And now I'm going to share my screen and we're going to move on and learn some tips and tricks about Windows 10. And here we are. Boom. Okay. This is Windows 10 tips. How to take screenshots, find the secret start menu, and more. And the subtitle would be, consider this your guide to becoming a Windows 10 master with hacks for shutting down background apps and saving your battery. Let's see if we can move on from here, and we can. Here's a little bit of an introduction. Whether you've been using Windows 10 for years or have only recently upgraded, there are plenty of new and old tips, tricks, and hidden features to learn that will make using your laptop every day faster and smoother. Learning to be quicker and more productive on your laptop may be especially appealing with so many of us still working from home due to the pandemic or just spending more time on our laptops in general. Finding the secret start menu and saving battery power trick are great ways to get more out of your machine. Microsoft doesn't typically publicize its hidden features the way Apple does, which can make it more difficult to know how to get the most out of the machine you use day in and day out. Even learning how to upgrade to Windows 10 for free can be tricky. You'll want to do this ASAP, by the way, since support for Windows 7 ended last year. So no matter Microsoft, Dell, HP, or other Windows 10 rig you have, these clever tips will help you stay organized and get more done. Plus, here's everything you need to know about the upcoming Spring 2021 update, the most recent Windows 10 October 2020 update, and how to use the 3 best new Windows 10 features and how to troubleshoot any Windows 10 problems. Okay, number 1, minimize all windows except the active one. If your desktop screen has gotten too crowded with open windows, you can quickly minimize them all except the one you're currently working in. Just click the title bar of the window you want to remain open to select it. Then hold the mouse down and move the window back and forth quickly, shaking it essentially. After a couple of quick shakes, all other open windows will minimize, leaving only the one you've shaken open. Number 2, open the secret start menu. You know that to get to the start menu, you hit the Windows icon at the bottom left of the screen or on your keyboard. But Windows 10 includes a lesser known second start menu that makes accessing important features like the command prompt, the control panel, and the task manager much easier. You can access it 2 different ways, either by pressing the Windows key plus X or right-click the Windows icon Start button. Number 3, create an event without opening the Calendar app. Windows 10's latest update lets you quickly add events to your Microsoft Calendar directly from your taskbar without actually having to open the calendar at all. Here's how to do it. On your taskbar, click the box with the time and date in it in the right corner. Click the date when you want to schedule an event. Enter the event name, time, and location. If you have multiple calendars, click the down arrow next to the event name field to choose the one you want to add it to. Click Save. The event should appear in your calendar app across your devices. Number 4, take a screenshot. I know it's a basic one, but it's amazing how easy it is to forget how to take a screenshot on your laptop or desktop when you don't do it often. There are at least 8 different ways you can take a screenshot with Windows 10. If you want to capture and save a picture of your entire screen, the easiest way is to hit the Windows key plus print screen key, and that picture will be saved to the Pictures Screenshots folder. To capture just one part of your screen, hit the Windows key plus Shift plus S to open a tool called Snip and Sketch, which allows you to click and drag to create a screenshot, which is saved to your clipboard. Number 5, open items on your taskbar with the keyboard shortcuts. If you've pinned programs to your taskbar at the bottom of your screen to create a shortcut, you don't have to click the icons to open them. Instead, use the keyboard shortcut Windows key plus number, with the number key corresponding to the position of the program on the taskbar. For example, Windows key plus 2 will open the second item on the taskbar. This is especially useful if you're typing furiously and don't want to lift your fingers from the keyboard. It may feel more natural to reach for the Windows key. 6, figure out how much space apps are taking up. Computers start running slower as they grow short on space. One quick way to speed them up may be to get rid of apps that take up more space than they should, especially if you don't regularly use them. To see how much space an app uses, navigate to Settings, System, Storage. Click on the drive you want to search, likely the local storage or this PC, and click Apps and Games to see a list of apps installed on your machine and how much space they are taking up. You probably won't get rid of your browser, but you might find that a game you haven't played in years is some good dead weight to drop off. Number 7, get rid of ads in your Start menu. When you run Windows 10 with default settings, you may sometimes see apps on the right side of your Start menu. Microsoft calls them suggestions, but they are actually ads for Windows Store apps you can buy. To get rid of the ads in your Windows 10 Start menu, go to Settings, Personalization, and Start. Toggle the setting called Show Suggestions occasionally in Start to the off position. 8, shut down background apps. Apps that run in the background can receive info, send notifications, and stay updated, even when you aren't using them, which can be useful, but can also suck your battery and your data if you're connecting via a mobile hotspot. To control which apps are running in the background and save some battery power and data, go to Settings, Privacy, Background Apps. To stop all apps from running in the background, toggle Let Apps Run in the Background to Off. Or you can choose which apps to run in the background individually by going down the list on the same page. Okay. Number 9, use background scrolling. With Windows 10, you can scroll up and down on any window, even if it's not the one you're directly working in. This is a useful tool when you have a lot of windows open that you want to look through at the same time. For example, if you want to open new sub-menu options in new windows to save you time clicking back and forward on the same page, try opening 2 programs, say an internet browser page and a notepad or Word document. Arrange both on the screen so you can see at least some of the text on each. While you are in one window, Hover your mouse or use the touchpad to move to the second window and scroll. Even though you aren't active in that window, it should allow you to move up and down the page. The feature should be on by default, but if it isn't, go to Settings, Devices, Mouse, and toggle Scroll in active windows when I hover over them to on. Then you can place your mouse over a window that's in the background and use the scroll wheel to scroll. Okay. Number 10, show file extensions in File Explorer. With Microsoft hides file extensions by default, which makes life difficult for people who need to look for specific types of files like JPEGs or JPGs. To see file extension in File Explorer, do the following. Go to the search bar at the bottom of the screen and type in File Explorer Options and click it. There are a number of other ways to get here too, but that one seems fastest. In the window that pops up, click the View tab. Uncheck the box that says Hide Extensions for Known File Types. Click Apply and OK. You should now see file extensions for all files in the File Explorer. You can use the File Explorer Options menu to choose to show empty drives, hidden files, and folders, and more. Okay. And here's our last one, 11, to cut down on distractions with Focus Assist. It's frustrating to try to get work done when you keep getting interrupted with notifications. You can determine how many you get with Focus Assist, a tool Windows 10 added in the April 2018 update. Set it up by going to Settings, System, Focus Assist. Choose from 3 options: Off, to get all notifications from your apps and contacts; Priority, see only selected notifications from a priority list that you customize and send the rest to your Action Center; and Alarms, only. Hide all notification except for alarms. You can choose to automatically turn this feature on during certain hours or when you're playing a game. And that brings us to the end of the tips and tricks of Windows 10. And it looks like I have quite a bit of time. So I'm going to go and show you some of these. This comes from a story from the Daily Item. It's a newspaper in Pennsylvania, and it's a story about the initial story is about a woman in Florida, and this is the sad story. Geek Squad scam targets vulnerable seniors. This appeared in the Daily Item, serving the central Susquehanna Valley since 1937. It's a newspaper up there, and this was posted April 11th. And under the pull quote for that photograph of that woman, Diane Bells, in her Delray Beach home on Friday, March the 2nd, 2021, Bells was victimized by scammers targeting elderly people by impersonating technical support programs, which in our particular case is Geek Squad. The latest online scam targeting seniors is almost too ingenious not to work. That's what makes it so devious and its victims so vulnerable. Delray Beach, Florida resident Diane Bells, 68, had no reason to be suspicious on March 1st when she opened an email claiming to be from Best Buy's Geek Squad. She had opted for a Geek Squad technical support plan when she bought her MacBook 2017. Like many other older adults venturing into the online universe, she didn't know how to fix computer problems and wanted to be able to get help when necessary. The email stated that her support plan had been extended for 3 years and her credit card charged $392.95. If she wanted to reverse the charge, she'd need to call the customer support number in the email within 24 hours. Dialing that number was a decision Bells, who ultimately lost $1,800, and a knowable number of other victims soon came to regret. Very few scams like this get reported, said Aura Tanner, a researcher on the Aspen Tech Policy Hub's recent project, protecting older users online. And that's because the senior is ashamed. They think, how could I have allowed this to happen to me? They tend to hide it. That allows it to perpetuate. Another South Florida victim from Boynton Beach lost $52,724 to a Geek Squad scam. Yes, $52,724. The 77-year-old asked not to be named for this story, saying she hasn't told her children what happened to her. They would have put me in an institution if they found out. Known across the internet as the Geek Squad scam, it also comes disguised as other technical support plans, including Norton Antivirus and other trusted brands. Scammers send out emails phishing, that's phishing, for likely subscribers. The goal is the same, to gain control of victims' computers and ultimately their money. And once money is transferred, there's little any bank or law enforcement agency in the United States can do to help get it back. When Bells received the email stating that $392.95 was charged to her credit card, she followed her first instinct. I called and said, I can't afford to renew for that much. I want to cancel. Next, she received an email from the scammers saying they mistakenly refunded $4,900 to her credit card, and she needed to call to arrange to return the overpayment. I called them back right away to find out how to reimburse them. She was told to download a program called TeamViewer and type in credentials that gave the scammers control of her computer. They quickly opened her web browser and found her bank account link saved among her favorites. When they accessed that website, her login credentials were already filled in. This is the, I can't believe that I'm even reading this again. It's just, all they had to do was click the login button, and they did, immediately accessing her account and withdrawing $1,000 via the instant money transfer app Zelle. The Florida Attorney General's office received 10 complaints about Geek Squad phishing scams over 12 months, ending March 2020. That's up from 3 the previous year. Victim testimonials in Best Buy's own technical support forums date back to 2019. Business imposter fraud topped the Federal Trade Commission Consumer Sentinel Network's tally of types of fraud against consumers ages 60 to 69 and 70 to 79 for the first time in the fourth quarter of 2020, knocking the government imposters from the top spot. Ask about the increase in reports of Geek Squad scams. A Best Buy spokeswoman provided this statement. What happened to these customers is absolutely terrible, and we have a team of security experts constantly working to do what we can to keep this from happening. Customers looking to use Geek Squad services can contact us directly at 1-800-BEST-BUY. Seniors have long been targets. Online scams targeting seniors have existed for as long as seniors have been going online. Years ago, the Nigerian prince scam convinced victims that the senders were heirs to a ruler who needed someone in the United States to hold on to their fortunes. If victims sent money to prove they could be trusted, dating scams targeted lonely widows and widowers with promises of companionship, but left them with lower bank balances. Then came the pop-up technical support scams that locked up victims' computers until they subscribed to virus cleaning or malware removal software that they didn't need. The newest scams are descendants of those, but rely on victims' familiarity with legitimate services. The goal is the same: to gain control of victims' computers and ultimately their money. And once money is transferred, there's little any bank or law enforcement agency in the U.S. can do to get it back. When Bells received the email stating that $392 was charged to her credit, she followed her first instinct. Next, she received an email from the scammers saying they mistakenly refunded $4,900.
Hey, Tom,
Yeah.
2 weeks ago, I had a similar scam that was brought to my attention, not by email, but the perpetrators were calling my cell phone. I had 4 calls in one day from different individuals from supposedly Netgear support. Now, Netgear deals with a lot of different electronic-based hardware, but it was interesting that they knew that in 2017, I had purchased the Arlo wireless cameras, and Netgear actually provides the support for those cameras. So they called me and they told me, and they said, well, you purchased these in 2017, which I did. And they said that I paid $149 for a subscription for technical support, which I never did. I didn't pay $149 for any technical support. And they told me that since I had not called in and used the technical support, they wanted to refund my $149.
And that was the scam.
Right. So the question is, first of all, they had my phone number, and how did they know that I had purchased in 2017 the Arlo camera?
Yeah, how would they know?
Yeah, the first couple of times I pretty much said no thank you, hung up on them. And then the third and fourth times they called me, they said, that is your money. We want you to have your money back. And I said, well, I would rather that money go to a good cause. So I want you to designate my refund to a non-for-profit.
Wow.
And the guy didn't know what to say, and he said, no, it's your money, you get that money back. I said, you've worked so hard. If your superiors will allow it, I want you to have my money. You can have the $149. And then they transferred me to a supervisor, trying to talk me into taking back what was rightfully mine, my $149, in which got nowhere. But again, as you just said, it's more than Geek Squad. You know, it could be, a Microsoft, Netgear, anything which provides technical support.
But
They didn't approach me online. They called me on they had my cell phone number.
Oh,
why
my.
do you talk to them at all?
Well, the first couple of times I didn't entertain it. And of course, they use the pirated phone numbers.
Mm-hmm.
And so after the first 2 times, the third time I recognized the phone number, and I was sort of multitasking, doing something else on the computer. And I thought I would have some fun with them. I was sort of amusing myself the third and fourth time.
You know what? I get about once or twice a week a call. Your account was charged $329. Call us. I never called.
Mm-hmm.
I never call these people because I know it's fraud. I just ignore it.
Mm-hmm.
Recently, I got a call that said they were from Social Security, that I need to call them back, that their funds were being confiscated or something.
Right, they're going to close down your Social Security account unless you call them.
Yeah. They'll say they're from the IRS. They'll say anything that sounds official, they'll want to use that to get you and to get you nervous. And they prey on people like this Diane that, they need to make sure that every cent that they have is well spent. And so if somebody says that they were paid, that one of the stories was that she was credited $4,900, and that they mistakenly gave her $4,900. Well, you know, all she would have to do is look at her accounts and see that there was no money like that.
Right, right.
But, you know, we probably all have. Everybody gets scammed. Well, everybody has the opportunity to be scammed. And I think at least our group here, I don't think any of us would have bought into any of those scams.
You think those car warranties are for real? You know, my car warranty is going to expire, so do you think I would get good service with that?
They're for real until you try to use it.
Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
don't. I mean, I think the ones that advertise on TV for the past 10 years, they're probably real. Otherwise, they'd have been found out by now. Just like the presentation I gave 3 weeks ago or 2 weeks ago on home insurance plans, repair plans, actually. And you could get a phone call saying that they do that, and they think they're playing on the fact that those commercials are running all the time, especially on the internet channels. They'll play the same commercial over 5 times in a row.
So Rob, the police departments and anybody else can't get these scammers at all.
Well, a lot of times they use internet calling via voice over the internet.
Right.
So I could program my phone system at work to show up as any number on your phone. And there's an app on my cell phone. I can program it to let it look like I'm calling you from Stowe, Ohio, or Phoenix, Arizona.
Yeah.
So they just keep changing these numbers and calling you from there. So to trace it back until there's something found out, sometimes we could trace that number back to the IP address. But then if they're using a VPN that we've talked about for the privacy, that could be jumped all over the world. So a local police department around here, that we're not going to Nigeria to find these people that scammed you. Now the FBI might get involved and find a organized crime organization and go after them.
Okay.
It sure sounds like that this is free money and you know, the scammers are going to scam you.
Right. For what it costs them to make it happen, which is virtually nothing, just like an email or a text or even a phone call with the voice over IP, they'll do 10 million and they'll get enough response that it easily pays for the operation plus profit to keep it going. Otherwise,
Yeah.
it wouldn't happen.
I actually had my own phone number calling me.
Did you answer?
No.
Uh-huh.
But there's so many numbers that, you know, they have computer programs that just find an empty number just to, you know, throw out there. The computer does the dialing, just dial after dial till somebody answers.
Yeah. Okay, let me get past this, and I'm going to say thank you so much. Special thanks goes out to the Allison Ray home, April 3rd, and CNET and CNET.com. And I'm going to stop sharing so we could.
Yeah, I'm home.
Me too.
Thought we were on a Lassie episode.
Yeah.
And we're still recording.
No, it's Tuesday. My house cleaner just came in. I'm usually not home at this time, but she came early.
Okay. All right. So anybody else got any horror stories or any phone calls that they took and paid somebody, or a computer problem that, I mean, being that I'm out there, unfortunately, I've had customers, even with Macs, you know how they say Macs don't get, well, I wound up over at my customer's Wonderful house. I mean, it's a killer house off on Cedar Road there. Beautiful house. And and I walk up and there's this iMac 27 and on the screen it says FBI. Yeah, and they paid, the two of them paid $249 or some amount like that. I think that was the going rate to get control of their computer again. And they paid the money and then they called me. So I said, don't do anything, don't touch anything. I went over there and it said FBI has locked this computer. And it says you got to, then there was, call this number. So they called that number and they gave them their credit card and all that. And they took the 249. They were out the 249, but they didn't get control of the machine. The machine remained locked. I had to use a magic wand and some voodoo and a doll that I stuck pins in to get the computer to go again. And they thanked me. They said, now, can you get my 249 back? No. Unfortunately, I never went to the woman's house, but I got a call from one of my nice customers for years. She actually gave the phone, she called them, the number that was on the screen. And they said, she said, can I send you a check? We don't accept checks. We only accept cash. And she said, well, how am I going to accept cash? And she said, well, let's log into your account at the bank and we'll take the money. And do you know that she gave them her account number and the routing number?
I give out.
I was in shock. I said, well, you know, the only thing, I can't do anything for you. The only thing you could do right now is call the bank and shut everything you have down and get new numbers, new passwords and everything. And hopefully they didn't empty your account. Well, for some reason, they didn't take anything but what they told her they were gonna, which I think they just wanted to test the water and see if it could be like, they could take a few today and maybe later on today, they'll take another taste, you know, and just keep going until maybe it was empty without her knowing, I guess. I don't know. But in any case, they only took whatever that initial amount was. I think it was way more than 249. I think it was like 499. And they took it. And then when she called them and she changed all her numbers and everything, all her credit cards and everything with that particular bank, it was horrific.
Yeah, it happened to my mom. She got a little blip on the screen. You have a virus, contact, click here.
And she did?
And she did. And it says, call this number.
Oh.
She did.
Oh.
And then the guy said, hey, $249, I can fix it. So she gave him the credit card and then gave him access to her computer as he's playing around fixing all the problems. And after about 30 minutes of him playing around the computer, she started to get suspicious and told him, I think this is a scam. She actually got her money back from him. Don't know who it is, but then she immediately called me because I'm her computer fixer. So what do you do at this point? I basically wiped the whole hard drive and started from scratch and had her redo all her passwords.
Wow.
So yeah, and she's in her 70s.
Oh, well.
But she's surprised she actually got the money back. So am I.
Yeah. And just like the two stories I just gave you of the 10 or 12 that actually happened, these particular two instances, they gave the 249 and the 499 was taken, but it didn't amount to anything. It wasn't like my stories here.
Yeah.
Where the one of them went up to 77,000.
Yeah. I wonder if it's because, he got the credit card number and it's being charged under a certain thing. And then if she were to call the bank to stop payment on that, the bank would send out their alert that, hey, this is a scam. And then it would get flagged, the banks talk, so flagged everywhere. So if he gave her that one portion back, he's going to call the next person and get them.
Yeah. Yeah, they want to fly below the radar so they could do as much damage as they can before they arouse suspicion.
Yeah.
So here we are, and we've covered quite a bit today, ending up with our scam artists. And also, so please log into our channel, the Network Breakfast on YouTube, and watch this again and try to glean a little more from the 11 items that I put, and you'll be able to watch it as many times as you want. And those that you think are valuable, please implement them, and we could talk about it to see if you did any of them. Try one of them out of the 11. Maybe you'll like it so much, you'll go do another one and another one. And you could just watch this video as many times as you want, okay? And so we did that, and we talked about the scamming thing. It was pretty interesting, I think. And I appreciate all you guys being here. We're going to stick around and we'll talk over things. But for our YouTubers, this is going to be the end of our video for this week. But don't worry, because we'll be back next Tuesday morning, 7:30. Okay? All right, very good. So I'm thanking each of our members here. We're going to talk some more. You don't have to bid a fin de Dieu, but stick around. But for our YouTubers, have a nice day. Thank you so much for watching this whole video. Bye.
Great job.
Good job.